India is suddenly becoming the freebie station for all of these big tech giants. We are getting all of these premium AI tools and for free. But ever thought why are companies being so generous? That is our big tech story for this week. Plus, a look at some of the government applications that you must have on your smartphone to make your life much easier. We'll tell you which apps these are and why you must download them and start using them as well. Also, we have a new budget beast in the studio with us. This is the Moto G67 Power. Can a 15,000 rupee phone really take on the big names in the spec to price ratio? We'll find out in our full review. I'm Cyrus and this is Tech Today, and let's kick the show off with the top tech headlines of the week. Former Meta employees have launched Steam Ring, a new AI-powered wearable that listens, learns and even talks back in your own voice. It records snippets of what you say, turning your daily conversations into searchable memory. You can ask it what you said earlier or let it complete your unfinished thoughts. It's powered by Sandbar's on-device AI that mimics your tone and phrasing. But as futuristic as it sounds, experts warn it could blur the lines between memory and surveillance. Soon, drivers in India will be able to talk directly to Google Maps, completely hands-free. The new voice feature lets you ask for directions, find petrol stations or reroute mid-drive. It's tuned for Indian languages and accents thanks to Google's latest speech AI. The feature aims to make driving safer by reducing distractions on the road. And it's part of Google's broader India-first strategy for conversational AI tools. Google CEO Sundar Pichai has unveiled Project Suncatcher, a mission to send AI chips into orbit. These chips will process solar energy data directly from space, cutting Earth's computing costs. Each satellite cluster will carry tensor processing units trained for real-time analysis. The aim is to make machine learning more sustainable by using power from the sun itself. Pichai says the project could redefine how AI and clean energy work together, literally beyond the Earth. Apple's newest update, iOS 26.1, is now live for iPhone users worldwide. It brings smarter Siri suggestions, enhanced privacy tools, and improved battery health management. AI-driven photo retouching and seamless Vision Pro integration also make their debut. Apple says the updates fix several bugs and boosts overall system stability. The company is calling it a bridge update, paving the way for bigger AI features next year. OpenAI's video generation model Sora has finally arrived on Android smartphones. Users can now create lifelike video clips from simple text prompts directly on their phones. The app is optimized for speed with smaller model sizes for mobile hardware. Early users say it delivers near desktop quality video rendering. Analysts believe this could spark a new wave of AI creativity right from your pocket. India is now the world's favorite AI experiment hub. Why are you asking? Get this. Google is investing billions in AI technology, and even Reliance is handing out these free Gemini AI subscriptions. These are like welcome gifts. OpenAI has made its premium tier ChatGPT free for all of the Indians. But why? Why are these American tech giants pouring billions of dollars into AI in India? And they're doing it often at a loss. And more importantly, is India really being empowered by all of this or just being experimented on? So today on the show, we dive into India's AI gold rush and we ask ourselves this question: who is really winning here? Are the Indians or these big AI tech companies? Let's start with what's coming to India. For example, Google has announced a 15 billion AI hub in Visakhapatnam, complete with data centers, subsea cables and renewable power links to serve Asia's next billion AI users. Reliance Jio has tied up with Google to give its users 18 months of Gemini Pro access for free. A service bundle worth over 35,000 per subscriber. The only catch is you have to be between 18 to 25 years. Microsoft is expanding its co-pilot labs in Hyderabad. Amazon Web Services is hiring for AI experiment design in Bengaluru, and OpenAI has generously offered its premium models in India. Only in India. And this is where I feel India is a hub where these companies are testing new features, pricing, and scaling strategies before a global rollout. Remember Jio in 2016? Free calls and data for months, until India couldn't live without it. Then came the paid plans, and today almost every Jio user has to pay a minimum fee to use Jio's services. Or Gmail, launched free, later folded into Google Workspace subscriptions. Today, even 15 GB free Google Cloud space isn't enough to store your photos and files. You have to pay more to keep your data on the cloud. And similarly, free access to Gemini Pro, ChatGPT Go or BharatGen isn't charity, it's habit formation. Every time you ask an AI to write an email, translate a phrase or plan a trip, you're training yourself and the model to depend on that platform. That's the real currency here, habits and data. India with its scale and diversity offers the perfect test environment, where companies can experiment with languages, cultures and consumer behavior at a fraction of global cost. From how AI responds to Indian English and regional slang to how users engage with localized voice assistants, this is all live R&D at population scale. AI companies call it user testing. Critics call it behavioral mining. Because every free trial, every chatbot query, every smart reply feeds data into models that will later be sold back to the world as refined, profitable products. In just the first half of 2025, OpenAI recorded a net loss of around $13.5 billion. That's with a big B. So, what do these companies really gain from all of these so-called losses? Let me tell you. They gain a data advantage from billions of Indian queries that help them fine-tune their localized models, and also they are making them for global audiences and global models. They also gain user stickiness once these AI tools become a part of their everyday habits, and then they slowly roll out paid subscriptions naturally when you get used to them. They also gain enterprise contracts, as the same AI stacks and models can also be sold to banks, factories, and even government departments, and that's also very key. And another important thing, they also gain regulatory goodwill by building these things locally, employing local talent, and also positioning themselves as partners in India's digital growth story. And the most important from all of this is market dominance. The company that wins India's AI habits win the next billion users. So essentially, it's a digital land grab by spending big right now to own India's digital infrastructure and habits in the future. But there is another side to this. Heavy investment by a few big players also means heavy dependence later. If India's AI layer is built mostly on global firms, who truly controls the data, the algorithm, and the values shaping India's AI future? That's why initiatives like BharatGen matter, a sovereign AI stack that ensures India keeps some control over its digital destiny, if not all. Still, most local AI startups depend on Google Cloud, AWS, or Azure credits. Even BharatGen uses open source models originally trained on Western data. So the big question remains, can India truly be self-reliant in AI while depending on the same global pipelines for compute and storage?
There are 5 different pillars to it. One is your semi-infrastructure, then you have cloud platforms, the different models on top of it. And then if you look at from the point of view, there are different AI apps that are emerging, and then the entire piece of edge AI. So out of these 5 pillars, we do not have native capabilities in 4 out of these 5 pillars.
AI venture funding in India crossed $760 million in just the first half of 2024. The number of Gen AI startups has doubled in 2 years. But most of these startups are also testing grounds, building tools for Indian contexts that feed insights back to global models. Chatbots trained on Indian small business data, voice AI fine-tuned on Indian accents. To the global AI giants, India isn't just a market, it's an experiment at scale using Indian users as a case study. Now, analysts say the next 5 years will decide whether India becomes the AI workshop of the world or just its largest user base.
India will become both the AI workshop of the world as well as the consumer of global deep tech. Because on the digital transformation side, we are very strong. We are well on our way to build the next gen applications using AI and Gen AI. We already have a huge digital inclusion base of over 1 billion users that can transform and increase the technical vitality index of our country.
The opportunity is enormous, with better productivity, regional inclusion, and new jobs in data science and AI ethics. But the risks are equally real. While it's great that we are getting all of these AI tools for free, I strongly feel that we should not become so dependent on all of these AI tools so much that we actually do not have any options in the future, but we have to pay for all of these services later. Not to mention that these could also lead to some serious concerns like privacy lapses, algorithmic biases, data colonization, and even monopoly of power by all of these big tech companies. And remember, India should not just be focusing on using AI from outside. We should be building our own AI tool, and that is quintessential for the growth of the Indian AI ecosystem. At a macro level, these investments make sense. They are laying the foundation for an AI-driven economy. At a micro level, the free AI you use today is the first step in a long-term strategy to own your digital habits and not become slaves to them. So the next time you see a free AI trial, a chatbot upgrade, or some AI bundle with your phone plan, remember, these aren't losses for these AI companies. They're investments in behavior. Short term, maybe they're just giving everything away, but in the long term, they will own the ecosystem, because India is right now the fastest growing AI market in the world. The race to own the users, the language, and everything that they have, the data, has just begun. Because in this AI gold rush, I'm rooting for the one who builds the smartest model for all of India, not the one who owns it. India's app ecosystem has very quietly evolved, not just through startups and even private players, but also tools that have been built by the Indian government for its citizens. And these apps don't chase popularity or downloads, but they try to solve real-world, everyday problems. And they're designed primarily to make these essential services simpler, because they don't involve any middlemen, no long queues, no paperwork, and millions of people are already using them. But the thing is, not a lot of people watching this show, by the way, might know about these. So let's talk about some of these government apps that can help you on the show. We'll start with DigiLocker, one of the earliest success stories from the Digital India initiative launched back in 2015 by the Ministry of Electronics and IT. The idea was simple but powerful. What if you never had to carry physical documents again? Today, DigiLocker is linked to more than 2,000 issuing authorities, including CBSE, UIDAI, and the Transport Ministry. It stores over 8 billion verified documents, from Aadhaar cards to school certificates and vehicle RCs. These aren't just digital scans. They're digitally signed, government-verified copies, legally accepted everywhere from airports to RTOs. So if you forget your physical driving license or PAN card, you simply flash your DigiLocker and it's as valid as the original. It's a simple idea that's quietly transforming how citizens interact with the system. Paperless, presence-less, and hassle-free. Next, the app that changed the way India pays. Bhim UPI app or Bharat interface for money. Launched in December 2016, right after demonetization, it was India's first government-developed app built on the Unified Payments Interface or UPI framework by NPCI. The goal was financial inclusion to help every Indian, even without fancy phones or wallets, send and receive money instantly. And it worked. From small kirana stores to major retailers, UPI, powered initially by Bhim, made digital payments as common as cash. It's now the backbone of India's fintech revolution, processing billions of transactions every month. Even though today we have apps like PhonePe or GPay, Bhim remains the official government-backed UPI platform, secure, ad-free, and available in 20 Indian languages. It proved that digital trust could start from the top and reach the grassroots.
आपका ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस, आरसी, आधार कार्ड, ये सारे डिजिलॉकर वाले डॉक्यूमेंट्स मेरे पास सुरक्षित हैं। यहाँ उमंग ऐप पर।
Now imagine one app that connects you to almost every government service in the country. That's Umang, short for Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance. Launched in 2017 as part of the Digital India mission, it was designed to stop citizens from hopping between dozens of government portals. Umang brings together over 2,000 services from over 200 government departments and other entities across both central and state governments. Right from checking your EPFO balance and paying utility bills to applying for scholarships or even tracking your Aadhaar updates. The purpose was accessibility. One login, one interface for everything governance related. And the impact? Over 9 crore citizens now use Umang for tasks that once meant endless forms and queues. It's not just convenience, it's the government reinventing itself for the smartphone generation. Now this one's for everyone who drives a vehicle in India. M-Parivahan. Developed by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, the app went live in 2017 as part of India's broader road digitization effort. It connects directly to the National Register of Vehicles and Drivers databases, giving you instant access to verified information. You can store a digital RC and driver's license that's legally accepted by the police, check vehicle ownership, pay traffic challans, or verify whether a vehicle is genuine before buying it. The purpose was transparency, cutting down forgery, corruption, and the need for paper-based verification. And its impact is clear. With over 12 crore users, M-Parivahan has become a trusted reference for both authorities and citizens. And finally, the app every Indian traveller knows, IRCTC Rail Connect. The Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation has been digitizing tickets since 2002, but this mobile app, launched in 2017, brings convenience to your palm. Before Rail Connect, booking train tickets meant slow websites and uncertain Tatkal logins. Now with real-time seat availability, instant payments via UPI, e-catering and PNR tracking, the app has completely changed how India travels. It handles over 13 lakh bookings a day, serving nearly every household that uses trains. And it's not just ticketing. The app now includes tourism packages, hotel bookings, and meal ordering on trains, all built into one interface.
its impact is scale, taking one of the world's largest transport networks and making it accessible on a small screen.
And the best part is, these apps are ad-free, secure, and also designed for every Indian with a smartphone, whether you live in a big city or even a small town. So if you don't have them downloaded, do it today, because these apps might just be the most practical app that you've ever downloaded. And speaking of practicality, clean and clutter-free experience, we have this on the show, which we spoke about earlier, the Moto G67 Power. Now, this phone comes under 15,000 rupees, but is it really worth it? Let's find out in the next segment. When you go out into the market, you usually look at phones like the iPhone that costs around 2 lakh rupees in India. But then you think, what can a phone offer that costs under 15,000 rupees? I mean, the Moto G series in India has that reputation of getting you performance in a budget-friendly package. And the newly launched Moto G67 Power is kind of testament to that philosophy, because it has a lot of features and also costs under 15,000 rupees. But on the Tech Today show, I want to review this device and talk to you about what really you're getting under 15,000 rupees and whether this phone is really worth it. The Moto G67 Power looks surprisingly premium for its price. Under 9mm, this is a sleek package with a vegan leather finish at the back. It feels comfortable in the hand, and we loved this purple color. Definitely not your typical budget segment glossy plastic vibe. But is this the thinnest phone? Clearly no. But it's light, grippy, and feels more expensive than it is. So design gets a thumbs up. Now get this phone comes with a 6.7-inch OLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. Now, the iPhone 16, even that doesn't have a 120Hz refresh rate screen. So, yeah. As far as the display goes, colors pop out, blacks are deep, and everyday scrolling feels smooth. Watching videos on this screen actually feels like on a premium device. I will confess, it's not the brightest in harsh sunlight, but for content consumption, social media, and casual gaming, it does more than enough. Now let's talk about the department where I feel the company has really cut corners, which is the performance side, because this smartphone comes with the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 processor. Now this is a processor that was launched almost 2 years ago. So when it comes to benchmark testing, as you can see, this really won't win any contest. But as far as daily performance drivers go, this one is decent enough. Apps open quickly, multitasking is smooth thanks to 8GB RAM, expandable virtually up to 24GB, and for everyday use, this thing is surprisingly decent. Light to moderate gaming is fine, and for the average user, the phone is completely reliable. And the software experience: clean Android 15 with a promise of 3 years of software updates, minimal bloat, and all Moto gestures. Plus, it comes with Google Gemini built in, so AI lovers get something to play with too. It also has Dolby stereo speakers, but the sound blasts if you go full volume, and that's never pleasant. Now let's move to the camera section, and I must tell you that this smartphone comes with a feature that even the latest iPhone 17 series has. What feature? Take a guess. And that feature is dual recording, a feature for the one who makes a lot of social media content. Even though it has a 50-megapixel Sony sensor at the back, the camera isn't flagship level. I mean, it showed impressive results in both day and night time, but then they look like they've been taken from a 15,000 rupee phone. The colors are decent, the details are solid, and OIS helps with steadiness. What about low light? Well, acceptable shots, but not class leading. And don't expect night photography to be magic here. Selfies from the 16-megapixel camera are decent, portraits look clean, but video stabilization could have been better. So cameras aren't the Moto G67's strongest suit, but they're reliable enough for social media use. Battery is the real game changer here. 7000 mAh, and that lasted me almost 3 days on average use. It's not that heavy thanks to silicon carbon used inside. However, I would have liked the charging speeds to be more than 30 watts, which takes forever to charge this phone. So, minus points in this department. So, we'll just conclude with the verdict, and also let me give you a couple of pros and cons of this device. Now, the pros, it has a fantastic design, doesn't look cheap at all, vegan leather at the back and looks solid, and it's also getting IP64 water resistance, which is great. The display is good enough, but 7000 mAh battery inside of this, and it's also not that heavy. So, I think the design department has done a good job. And also 3.5mm headphone jack and Dolby Stereo, which is, great for a phone in this price segment. Now, talking about some of the cons of this device, I feel Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 just too old of a processor, so lagging could be a bit of a problem. Otherwise, yes, brightness could have been better if I use the phone outside. But to count out, I won't say it's really a bad phone, and Motorola has just given you a very practical option under 15,000 rupees if you're looking for a clean Android experience, and that too from a brand that's recognizable like the Moto G67 Power. Before saying goodbye, I want you to answer this simple question. Do you think getting all of these premium AI tools for free is a good idea in the long run, or will it impact us? We would love to hear what you have to say about this. And if you run into any kind of a tech trouble or any problem you have with your gadgets, I am always there to help you out, and you'll need to reach out to us for that. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode of the Tech Today show. So stay tuned, stay smart, and stay safe, because the future of tech is changing and we are here to tell you all about it. This is Cyrus signing off.